Hi, my name's Yasmin and I'm the DM.
Hi, my name is Samantha. I play Elora Greyvale and she is a sorceress from the province of Nephalia.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Ogvar Shawfort, the goat-herding, mushroom-seeking ranger from Kessig.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I play Otto, a spring sage from Hanweir sworn to the land, wandering the plain and setting wrongs to right with his ursine companion, Bojo.
When last we left in episode 176, it was to be a vile and violent encounter that awaited our trio in the next section of the mine. Stepping forth to deliver death were 4 lupine cavern dwellers, their fur mangy and matted, the fissures in their flesh leaching foul ichor. It was a battle of acrid attrition that followed. Elora invoked a sphere of force that slammed one target, revealing the problematic properties of the acidic combustibility of their foes. One by one, the dire, stinking creatures were destroyed, covering the entire area and the party in showers of corrosive damage. Eventually, our heroes had emerged the victors, but not without cost. Otto's bear bites had left him badly burned and subsequently self-healing. Elora was traumatised and temporarily floored, and Ogvar trawling through his emergency magical medic supplies in an attempt to save the situation. Episode 177, Non-Non-Flammable.
Okay.
Right, I think Elora would sort of try and sit up and try and make herself a little less dishevelled. She's probably feeling like shit right now. I think she would look appealingly up at Ogvar and Otto and just shake her head and say, "Oh, today is not good. I really don't like this place, and I'm not really feeling up to much." She is going, as she sits there, she's going to cast False Life on herself, which I need to, again, just check the details. It's a 1d10 plus 11 temporary hit points, so she's just going to roll a d10 and see what gives.
Sweet.
Oh, she's got a 10. That's handy. So she's got back 21 hit points, so it's 10 plus her level.
Okay.
So she's gained back 21 hit points,
They're
which is helpful.
They're temp not gain back though.
Yes, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
they're temporary, yeah,
Okay.
21 temporary hit points, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. I think Otto will just, after having popped the last one, will sort of stumble back into the chamber where Ogvar and Elora are. Just sort of acknowledge that they're okay, and then fall on his side and just try to stay awake, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Elora would look to Ogvar and say, are you okay? I think he would probably just say, yes, Elora, I think I'm all right. What about you? You don't look good. It's terrible having to play 2 people when you're having a conversation on my own.
No different from usual then.
Cheeky mare. And then I think she would look to Otto and just say, you don't look great either, mate. Do you know what? I think we may need to pull back, and I don't know whether we've got to go back to the village or go back outside. I don't know how we protect ourselves, really. Oh, hang on, we've got... Yeah, I've kind of got an idea. If we pull back to the entrance of the cave,
Yeah.
I could probably use this. And while she's sat on the floor, she's shuffling around in a bag, and she can't find what she wants in there, but she will. Hang on, I just need to find it. Where is it?
Big reveal coming in 3.
Hang on. Oh no, yes. Right, she will shuffle around in her bag, and as she's doing so, she's going, "Oh no, that's a focusing candle. That's alchemist fire.
Yeah, don't use that.
That's my magic bedroll. I could really use that."
There's just comedy, like literal shit just flying everywhere
No,
behind
she
you.
wouldn't
She's
throw her
chucking them
stuff
all
around.
about.
It's far too valuable. She wouldn't throw her stuff around, but she would be shuffling through it, and she'd go, it's my magic bedroll. I could really do with that. This might help. And she's going to pull out the instant fortress.
Okay.
Okay. It's a metal cube. It's quite small, but it will grow to a tower of 20 feet. The metal walls would extend to 10 feet into the ground, rooting it to the spot and preventing it from being tipped over. It has a small door that opens at the command of the owner of the fortress, and even a knock spell can't enter it. It has adamantine walls that have 100 hit points and hardness of 20. It cannot be repaired, even except by a wish or a miracle. But it would spring up in just one round. So it would provide them with protection.
Yeah.
While they got a rest, because Laura's kind of like casting her mind about and thinking she doesn't really have anything to protect them if something came at them while they were trying to take a rest. So she holds the cube out and she kind of explains this to the others and just said, "Well, what do you think? We could go back out to the front of the cave, open this thing up, and just take a rest. I can't carry on like this. I've taken a real battering today between that bloody minecart thing and things dropping off the ceiling and now this. I need to take a breather."
Yes, that's one thing we could do, but on the other hand, do we want to risk this dome of power above our heads doing God knows what? The longer we stay here, the longer we risk that causing additional problems. Our friends don't know where we are. I tell you what, I heal some every time I change my form. How about I give me for a few moments to recover, and I'll turn into a rat or something and go and investigate what's further down those passages. Just for all we know, they might be empty.
Yeah,
On the other hand, maybe it's just something we can manage.
Well, it's an option. I don't know how much energy I've got left. It's been a long time since I've taken a battering like this.
Well, how about we combine our plans? How about you set this thing off? I mean, we've seen it just underwater, but we've never tried ourselves. Have you set it off, say, 10, 20 feet away from the entrance? Ogvar, if you can maybe stand in the doorway with your bow, and if I come running back with something behind me, just shoot it, and we'll go through the door and close the door behind us. What do you reckon?
Laura is going to laugh at that one.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, okay.
And then, Laura, if you've got one of your lightning bolts or something, maybe you could be resting on top of the tower with a better view.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like a plan to me.
I'm not saying it's a good plan.
I can do that. Well, it's a plan. I mean, can't just go marching down there because, well, it'll be an X plan if that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. Let's Let's do that, but be careful, yeah?
As best I can, absolutely. So,
Okay.
with that, he's going to reach down inside himself and he's going to focus on wild shaping.
She's...
Sorry?
Before he does that, she is going to hand out... she's going to shuffle in... Orland, can you pass me... it's okay, I'll get it. I know what I'm looking for. She's going to open the bag and she's going to just shuffle through Orland. And
Oi, watch it!
Orland, we've had a real bad day.
That's molestation, that is.
Yeah, whatever. She's just like, oh my god.
You start rusting around, he's like, out of my mouth!
She's just going to tickle the side of the inside of the bag. Is he going to laugh?
No, he's not going to laugh.
Okay. She's going to pull out a potion of Greater Magic Fang +5. She's going to hold it over to Otto. I don't know whether this is any good to you. Would this help in this situation at all?
I really, really don't want to end up in a scrap of any sort, so maybe keep it hid just in case. Believe you me, I'm more inclined to run away than I am to get involved in another scrap if I can avoid it.
Look, it's in Orland. It's on my side. If you ever need it, and I'm not on my feet, just do it. I've got all sorts in my bag. I've got all sorts of potions in there. If you need anything, just don't forget to rummage if I'm out of action.
I don't think he'll let me in, but okay. There is that.
He probably will if it's an emergency.
Oh, he's a grumpy sod. He probably won't do it even if the world's
Well, he
ending.
might be, but he can also be helpful. Just politely ask him for something and he'll find it for you.
I just got the mental image. If you know Ice Age 4.
Yep.
Is it 4, the one where they're on the ice boat?
Yep.
And with Granny, the
Yes,
sloth,
yeah.
and she gets the fucking dentures. I just get that image, but on a rat.
Gods.
Sorry, it's
Where's
just
that
took me a
come
little bit.
And that's what the weather's like in her world. Right.
Okay, so Otto, you're turning into a rat.
I'm going to... First things first, I'm going to use... I've got 7 wild shapes a day. I've used 2. I'm going to spend 3 wild shapes very briefly, changing shape, and as I'm doing, I'm regaining hit points equal to my level each time, as if I'd had a night's rest. I'll end up in human form after 3. And
Okay,
I'm
we
going to
do a quick wardrobe montage.
I'm going to take off an item that I hope I don't have to use, but just in case. I'm going to take off my necklace of missiles. Ask Elora to hold on to it as I turn.
What's it? Necklace of missiles?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to turn into the shape of a rat, and hopefully the necklace will resize when you put it back around my neck. I don't know if it will.
It's a necklace of missiles?
Yes.
What necklace was that?
Was the necklace of magic missiles?
No, he had a
No,
necklace
it's
of fireballs.
not.
Is it
It's a
fireballs?
necklace of fireballs. Yes, that's
It's
the
a
one.
necklace of fireballs, yeah.
Yes.
Just clearing that up.
What size,
Yeah.
just for clarification, are you turning into a stonking large rat or a little rat?
Into a little rat because I don't really want to get picked on if I can avoid it.
Oh, no stonking large rats, okay. Okay, yep, so you turn into... We get a bit of a wardrobe montage as Otto decides to change between forms a little bit like a really shit animorph.
Thanks.
And you're able to tie the necklace back onto Rotto. And yeah. I'm just going to say for the sake of it, it shrinks to fit your ratty body.
That's very nice, thank you.
And also your rat form. Okay, so meanwhile, you're opening up the Instant Fortress.
Yes, Elora will leave the front of the cave with Ogvar.
Oh, you're going to the front of the cave, are you?
Well, I can't put it up in the cave. How big's the ceiling?
30, 40 foot in some places. Did say. It's quite tall.
If you can find one of those places, that would be a better place.
Yeah, like in the middle of the cave you're currently in.
Yeah.
But I need to know what you're doing.
Oh, it's 20 feet. It's 30 feet high.
Yeah, there are some places in the caves which will be 40 foot high.
Okay, she'll
35
find
foot.
a corner of, well, she'll find a place in the cave which is 20 foot by 20 foot by 40 foot high that would accommodate the fortress.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of this room would do you. The room.
Okay, fine. What she'll do is she'll then... well, she hasn't thought of a word. I don't know what word it... Oh, it's codswallop, isn't it?
Bang, done.
You shouting codswallop?
Oh, no, it's not codswallop.
That's the other one.
She stands there for a minute and scratches her head. Oh, God, I'm a little confused. I've had a bad day. Do you remember how to get this thing to work?
You have to say the password.
Well, it was one password, wasn't it, to open it, and one to close it?
Oh, I think so, yes.
So, one of them was envelope. I remember that. What the fuck was the other one? I haven't got it. Somebody tell me.
It might be carpet.
Meta. What was it?
Carpet, I think. That was the password to the tower.
Was it the one to open it? Carpet. Something that's worn under the foot and you can fit one.
Oh no,
letter in
codswallop
it
was
or
the
something.
command word for the instant fortress. Got it in my notes there.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
That's what he used for his tower.
I think it's the same for both.
No, it's not.
Okay. Carpet would be the other one then.
Carpet. She's going to say, she's going to try and say envelope.
You're going to try and say envelope.
Well, she's going to say, okay, envelope. Does anything happen?
No, nothing
Oh,
happened.
bugger, it's the other one. Carpet.
Before your eyes, a 30-foot high tower springs up. Its walls a gleaming silver.
I would imagine that's quite noisy.
Yeah, it's not noisy so much as it is telescopic.
Well, it burrows into the floor, so there must be some disturbance.
It's magical.
Magic.
Yeah.
It's telescopic. You actually place it down in kind of like the centre of this kind of 20-foot by 20-foot area. You get this kind of almost telescopic effect where it kind of expands outwards, and then another layer kind of dunk, and then another layer kind of dunk up.
Right.
And you obviously don't see what's happening below ground.
Okay.
But
alright.
you have a 30-foot tower made of silver metal.
She'd look at Ogvar and say, well, that's the first thing that's bloody well gone right today. It's been bad since we got up. I wish I hadn't got up. I wish I never left the ship. And she just sort of looks at him sort of wistfully, a bit miserably. Are you gonna wait out here and see? Just cover that entrance. I'll go up to the top of the tower.
Okay, so you take up positions. Ogvar watches for the other entrance. You get your way up to the top of the tower.
Yeah, I'm going to pick my way through the dirty plates and God knows what else, because that place hasn't been cleaned out, has it?
The disco dance floor on the third floor is merrily lighting away, and
Yeah. So she's going to go to the top of the tower and find herself like a kind of either an arrow slit or something that she can just see through.
Yeah.
Just something wide enough to cast through, and she's going to. She'll wait up there and get ready to cast if she needs to. She's not preparing a spell just yet, but
Okay.
she's just
Cool.
covering.
Yep, so you wait at the top of the tower. Ogvar's covering off at the bottom of the tower. And Otto, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to be studying the world from my new perspective, just making sure that Ogvar and Elora are ready to have my back if anything goes wrong. And we're going to go for a little stroll, being as sneaky as only a bad sneaky person can be, and go looking around to see if there's anything else interesting in this area first before carrying on following the tracks.
Okay. Right, sweet. So can you first of all make me a move silently check?
I was afraid you might ask for that. Which is slightly problematic. Because I rolled a 2, I have +4. So I have a 6 if that's the case.
Okay, so you're not being very quiet.
Squeaking a lot, probably. In pain.
Yeah. And then can you make me a spot check, please?
What check, sorry?
Spot check, sorry.
Spot check. Okay, that's a little better. That's a 15 plus 18, 33.
33, yeah, nice. Okay. So you begin to follow the tracks around the, through this room. You soon quickly discover that there is a exit or another passage on the right-hand side of the room, about halfway on.
Mm-hmm.
And if I rotate the camera slightly.
Bizarre.
You can follow the tracks through this tunnel. It's a narrow tunnel. It's very narrow. You imagine if a minecart was on this track, it would be very much scraping along the walls at some points. And as you enter into this area, you can see that there is almost like a little spur of cave to the right-hand side, just filled with general debris, a couple of picks, some more of these oil lamps, which are beginning to go out now. It's beginning to cast the room into a darker kind of darker shadows. Yeah. And as you follow the track round, okay, pretty good. You round almost like a pinnacle of rock towards your left-hand side as the tracks turn quite sharply. And it is as you begin to approach this narrow passage between the pinnacle of rock and the far wall that you realise there is a very, very thin wire in front of you.
Squeak. I should just point out that due to my tiny size, I do have +8 on their stealth, which I've missed, but I'll take 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of inspect this piece of wire and just check it on, sort of see on both ends what it's connected to, without touching it.
Yeah. Okay. Can you make me a search check, please? That's probably the best way to go about it.
I can try apparently. 16 plus 3 for 19.
Yeah. Okay. So you're able to tell pretty easily that this connects to a trap of some sorts. It's very clearly a trigger wire. It's anchored to the wall on the right-hand side, and it appears to run up this kind of spur of stone on your left-hand side. And it is. I'll mark it on the map for you if I get a pen, so you can see where it is relative to what you're looking at.
Okay.
So it's right across there, that little bottleneck area. And as you trace the wire upwards up the wall, you pretty quickly realise that this is attached to a pretty nasty looking ram.
Okay. That ram, is it something that would drop or it would swing perhaps overhead of a ram?
You imagine that should someone trip the wire and break the wire, the ram is going to come down and it is going to strike them squarely in the chest, and it looks to be some kind of thick, heavy log with a couple of metal spikes kind of driven into it.
Okay. I'm going to make my way over to one corner where it attaches to the wall.
Yep.
And my plan is to try and just quickly chomp on it with my lovely big rat teeth and then back the hell out of the way as quickly as I can.
Yeah. Can you make me a sleight of hand check? Is that a check on the sheet?
It could be, yeah.
Sorry, a what?
Sleight of hand. Is that on the?
Yes, that
yes.
is, yeah.
Yeah. Can you make me a sleight of hand check, please, Rick?
I got a 2.
You've got a 2.
Oh
Yes.
dear.
Oh dear.
Is there a sleight of teeth check?
No.
No.
Maybe slight and toothy.
No, I was trying, Rick. I was trying.
I know. I've said that
I
for
mean-
a long time.
Good job. You're about 2.5 hours away.
I'm about to die too. It's okay.
I mean, you're not going to get hit by it because it is at chest height and you are a tiny rat. But this is... what I am going to say is this is going to be particularly spectacularly noisy and loud.
Yes, that's fair.
As your teeth nip the wire, you imagine it would have made some noise anyways, because it is that kind of thing where you're not going to be getting away with it going off quietly. But what you don't quite expect to happen is as you nip the wire releases, the ram bug releases, the ram swings, but clearly it was made rather shoddily, as the entire apparatus, spiked log, actually comes off of its pivot and is launched into the cave behind you with a shattering boom as it strikes the wall on the opposite side. It's travelled a good 15 foot as it's swung and just been launched. And could you please make me a listen check, please, Rick?
Yes, I rolled a 3 plus 18 for 21.
Ooh, very nice.
Sweet. Okay. You hear, after the boom has kind of finished ringing throughout the cave and the dust has settled and the little bits of rock which have been dislodged from the wall have had time to tumble down and scatter across the floor like marbles, you hear something. And you hear it pretty good with your little ratty ears. As you kind of wait for the dust to clear and you kind of cough a little bit, as much as a rat can cough. You, following the tracks ahead of you, you haven't really realised, you were so absorbed with this trap that you hadn't really paid much attention to where the tracks were going. The tracks ahead of you lead on 5, 10, 15, 30 foot maybe, through another small antechamber, which is devoid of anything other than the usual kind of accoutrements you'd expect to see in a mine. There's another kind of pull-in where you would see a minecart kind of be moved to the side. But what is strange is the rather hastily constructed but sturdy man-made door which sits and seals off the tunnel ahead, from behind which you can hear voices, indistinct, but perhaps starting to grow louder.
Squeak.
What are you doing?
I have only one plan in this situation, and that is to run the hell away. So I'm not actually going to run that far. I'm going to run towards the end of the tracks, round back essentially to the tunnel where we just fought those canines.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and settle in very close to the ground and see if there's any sign of anything coming around the corner.
Okay, could you please make me another stealth check? Meanwhile, Ogvar and Elora are back at your little tower. You would have heard this boom. Ogvar might have even seen the log go flying in the distance from his vantage point. As looking down the tunnel, you just log.
Would you see that, or are the bends in the tunnel?
No, the tunnel is very straight. So if you look at the map on there, you'd set up your tunnel fairly in the middle, and the line of sight is pretty damn straight through that tunnel.
Yeah. Okay.
So your log would have kind of flown this way and ended up somewhere here. So anyone kind of stood here can see that happening.
Right. Okay. Fairly straight line of sight then.
Yeah. As your log delivery has arrived, what are the pair of you doing? Because you've heard this bang. Certainly Ogvar's seen the log go through the tunnel. And I imagine that both of you would probably also have seen Otto if he's scurrying back round kind of the tunnel where between these two cave sections. You'd have probably seen Otto arrive. It's not very often that you see a rat decked out in bling.
A tiny rat from about 50 feet, something like that.
Well, he's decked out in bling as well, remember?
Right.
I've got this nice necklace on.
Gangster rat.
Gangster rat.
Tingle brrrr.
Awesome. Well, I think Elora would obviously from her position, is she stood at a slit, or is she stood at the top? Is there a castellation?
You'll be stood at the top of the castellation. It's
Right.
easier because the slits are like narrow.
Okay. So
tiny.
she'd lean over the castellation, looking at all this from. Actually, Elora probably wouldn't have been able to see it from there because the tunnel, as it goes through the narrow parts of the tunnel, it would have been lower, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
you,
So
you
she
probably didn't see the
wouldn't
log,
see
but
it.
you probably see Otto scurrying back.
Yeah, she's probably heard something.
You've definitely heard something.
Ogvar, what's going on down there?
Ooh, log.
Log?
Log. Big log.
Is Otto okay?
There's Otto. Here he comes. As Otto, what was your stealth check, please?
Okay, so
Or your move
hide,
silently
I
check?
guess.
Hide check. Sorry,
Okay,
hide check, yeah.
no, sorry. So my hide is a +1, but I rolled a
Sweet.
19, and hopefully
Okay.
I might have a bonus for being small, so maybe 28.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
Even with a
Yeah,
necklace.
so you scurry back round the corner. And as kind of Ogvar and Elora kind of have this conversation, and Otto, you scurry round and you hide, you hear the voices getting louder. And there is the sound of a door opening. A large as a door is opened and clearly dragged against the ground. And you hear footsteps. You hear one set of footsteps. You hear a second set of footsteps. You hear a third set of footsteps. And you hear several voices. Oi, stay back in the door with the rest of them. We'll go check it out. What was that noise? Looks like someone set off the trap. You hear some shuffling, some footsteps as two people move forwards. You very clearly hear two different footsteps. And there's a pause. Looks like something's nipped. Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Can I let out some very loud ratty type squeaks?
Ooh, you can make out some ratty type squeaks, and I'd like you to make a deception check, please.
Oh, poo. I think we're going through
Is it really
a
deceptive?
who's
'Cause
list.
Technically he is a rat, so is that deceptive?
Well, he's a human pretending to be a rat.
He's a human rat.
He's
human.
He's pretending to be a normal rat.
He can definitely. He's a speak rat, if that helps.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely. Okay, so you can have advantage on that roll, seeing as you can speak rat. I imagine you'd be saying, "Oh shit."
Yes, something like that. He likes saying that. That said, though, we don't have a deception sort of skill. We have bluff. Maybe I can make an argument for knowledge nature, trying to match it.
No, because you are trying to deceive them into thinking that it's a rat that's done this.
Okay, so
Which technically it is, but
so 11 on the first dice and an 11 on the second dice, which gives us a grand total of 13.
okay, 13. Okay, so you continue to hear the voices. Looks like something's nipped the wire. Maybe a rat. Probably nothing. What do you mean, probably nothing? Why would a rat nip the wire? What reason would it have to nip the wire? That's a good point. What do you think we should do? We'll go back and discuss it with the others. As the footsteps retreat, and you hear the door clunk as it shuts, and you hear the sound of a lock being thrown.
Did we recognise any of those voices?
You did not. I know all my NPCs sound the same, but that's a hell of a way to call it out, Rick.
Hey, I know you've been practicing in front of a mirror and all that to get these right, but it was worth a shot. So, I'm gonna, I suppose, turn around, squeak, and head back to Ogvar, who's obviously still very much on the ground floor. Did you hear that?
Yes, I think I heard something. I certainly saw the log.
I really, really, really want to give them a very bad day. What do you
Elora's
think?
going to make her way down from the top of the tower at this point, so she'll be like,
Yeah, you can join them on
Yeah.
the floor. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
open the door. Hey guys,
Hi.
Otto, you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Just debating with Ogvar about maybe giving those gentlemen a really bad day.
Gentlemen, come in here a minute. Tell me about what you saw. Let's not stand outside. It's not good.
You're letting the warmth out.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I think we'll hear the door open if we stay here, which might be useful. What I was thinking, given I've got this lovely little necklace on, is that if we were to make a bit more noise, they might come out again, and then I can just throw one of these beads down the hall, and then we can retreat and just have a little bit of fun from inside the tower. What do you think?
Well, aggressive is good. Yeah. I put the kettle on my way down.
That's good.
The percolator.
Well, actually, no, she didn't. Ogvar,
Oh, yes.
pass me your percolator. I'll put a coffee on before we go and do this. I think we could all do
Okay.
one.
Okay. He hands you over the percolator.
Right, so she's going to take his percolator and she's disappearing and she's going click as she shuts the door again, and she's going into the kitchen and she's putting coffee on.
Okay, so you're all making your way inside to do this, or?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, Elora's in there. She'll have taken Ogvar's coffee off him as well, obviously, and she'll just go and put a coffee on while we discuss it.
Okay.
I think I would like to stay out just outside in case we hear that door open again, because obviously if they come around the corner, they're going to see the tower.
Okay. Well, Elora would have put the coffee on and opened the door back up so that the boys can come and go. She knows that there's protection outside the tower, so outside the fortress. She doesn't know what else to do. She's just in a bit of a state. She's obviously going to clean herself up and whatnot. She's taken a few minutes to just tidy her appearance up and sort herself out. She cast a mending spell a couple of times on herself. And also I think she'd probably use about 3 mending spells, one for each of them.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
tidying them up and fixing bits and pieces that are broken, damaged, clothing, that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. So what are you planning to talk about? What are you planning to discuss?
Well, so long as we're all kind of ready, I don't think there's a lot to discuss. Maybe just have a coffee quickly and rest for a moment, catch our breaths, as you said, and I think the only thing I'd suggest is that you and Elora and Ogvar perhaps might benefit from staying a good way back from the point in front of that door where the tracks sort of go around the corner, because it might be slightly hard to move from there once the battle starts going, assuming it does.
Yeah. Is there a bit of a bottleneck down there, is there?
Well, there is, but I have a way of slowing things down as they come round, which will make them a bit of a nice target for yourself and for Ogvar.
Okay, look, I'll follow your lead on this, but, I'm feeling a bit better than I did, and coffee's pepped me up a little bit.
Well, it's
I'm
not
feeling a bit better than I did. Still not 100%, but,
It's not my intention to hide anything for you. I have a plant growth spell. I can cause any sort of vegetation there to overgrow very, very swiftly, and it's going to become very difficult for them to move through it. So if you've got an opportunity to take advantage of that, my thought is initially to maybe knock on the door while being a little way back, and then, or maybe I can even use I can maybe warp the wood a little. And
so were these humanoids? Were these humans? They were speaking in common. What did you see?
I saw very little. I was back here, but it sounds like, well, I presume humans or something close, and certainly the door is human-sized, so that would be the assumption.
Can
They certainly
everyone
seem
make me a
to have
listen
prepared
check,
some sort of
please?
defensive spot. Sorry?
Can everyone make me a listen check, please?
Listen check. Right,
Yeah.
okay. A listen. Let's just hit that and finish one kill.
Otto rolled a 6 plus 18 for 24.
That's a 3 plus 12 for Ogvar for 15. And Elora, listen check. There you go. Oh god, that's a 2 plus a 6 for an 8. So I think she's still suffering some effects.
Okay, so sorry, what was that again? You had an 8.
And Ogvar had a 15.
Okay. And Rick, you had a 23?
24, yeah.
24. Okay. Sweet. Oh, shit. I might keep that rolled on a 20.
No, you dropped it. Doesn't count.
Damn it. So we're going to go for... Okay. So, Otto, as you're talking, are you still in rat form by any chance, are you?
Yes.
Okay, your little ratty ears pick up on a sound. A sound which you are more familiar with than the other two, as they blissfully continue sipping on their coffee and having a conversation. You pick up on the very faint sound of the door opening. You suspect that they might have tried to make it quieter somehow. They've tried to kind of stop it from squealing so much, but even so, you still catch kind of not catch like catch kind of hear you hear the door open.
They're coming, quick. Inside.
Right. It doesn't need to be asked twice. Elora's scuttling is straight inside.
Okay, so you all scuttle inside the tower. Is that right?
Yeah, and the door's closing.
Including you?
Yeah, okay.
Or is
let's
the
go
door
for that,
closing?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that.
What was that? Sorry, what was that, Rick?
No, I was debating something else, but no, that's absolutely fine. We can do it from inside the tower just as easily as we can outside.
Okay.
Are we shutting the door and going
Yeah,
up? Yeah, okay. Door's shut, we're going up to the top.
Okay, right. I need to... Let me draw the tower onto the map.
Okay.
And I need to know where specifically you guys are going.
I would say that we would go to the top of the tower to where Elora was previously and look over the castellations at the top, down over the top of the front door, which is facing down the passageway. But from up there we can't see all the way down the passageway because the tunnel in the passageway is lower than the top of the tower. So you can see something when it comes back out into the cave part where we are.
Okay. And where would Ogvar... Well, so you say you're distributing yourself across the floors, or what?
I'm happy to take up a position on a lower floor if there's... just looking through one of the arrow slits, what I'll have to do, though, is change my form one more time. Got one left after this. How spacious is the interior? Would I be in a position to maybe turn into a troll?
It's 20 by 20,
Probably not.
and there's
I'll
3
just
No.
floors.
rather than using another wild shape, then I shall allow myself to revert back to my human form. And yes, I'll be looking through one of the arrow slits on on the lowest floor, I think.
Okay. So. Wiggle, there we go. Okay. So, it isn't too much longer before you Can everyone make me a spot check, please?
Yeah. 6 plus 18 for 24 for Otto.
Okay.
Spot check. That's a 5 plus 11 for a 16 from Ogvar. And Elora is a 10 plus a 7 for 17.
So we had a 16, a 17, and
24.
what was that? Sorry, Rick.
24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are all. You are all able to see as you begin to kind of look out through various arrow slits in the tower. I'm assuming you'll probably stay on the first floor for this because you'll want to be able to see who's coming.
Yeah.
You spot a single solitary figure. That figure is quite not haggard looking but unkempt. They look quite messy, quite worn. Certainly not old. This appears to be a woman in, you would assume to be her 30s or 40s. But she looks like she hasn't had a good bath in weeks. Her hair is lanky and stringy. Her figure is pale. Her skin is kind of pale and quite pasty. Her cheeks are sunken in. She looks like she could do with a good meal. And the thing which stands out to all of you pretty much is her attire. She is dressed clearly in some what looks to be kind of not robes but clearly light clothing, potentially shirts and trousers, various little bits on her like a belt with some pouches. But what really draws your eye is the robe she wears. It is dirty. It is stained with various, you'd assume, fluids and dirt and general muck. But what you can all see is the prominent, almost painted on with some sort of black ichor or paint, symbol of Skursdale.
Oh.
Well, on the plus side,
Is that painted on
we
the
don't have
front
to worry about
of it?
negotiating anymore.
Yes, it is painted on the front, so it's like a type of robe which is, you can see like a hood and it kind of goes over to the arms, go through the holes. It's a bit like a poncho basically, with armholes.
Okay.
But you can kind of clearly see the symbol of Skursdale almost like painted on.
Oh God.
It's quite ratty, tatty, the ends are stained brown, they're ragged. Yeah.
And she just walks into the chamber where the fortress is.
She's clearly attempting to skulk, but just not doing a great job at it. She's not, doing terrible. Like she's not making a load of noise or anything, but she's just not doing a great job at being stealthy, to be honest. As she is following the mine tracks round the pinnacle of rock, and she lays eyes on the tower, very clearly, obviously sprung up, and turns around and she clearly calls back to someone or whoever's behind her or whoever's down the passageway behind. Oi! Something weird up here. Some kind of tower.
Do you want to do the honours?
Elora's just going to duck. I think she'd sort of tug Ogvar's arm and just duck right the way down so she can just peer through the castellation so she's not terribly obvious.
Yep, okay. Okay, and with that, as you make that movement, that ducky movement to hide, her eyes flit upwards as she sees movement. There's someone here! Quick!
I don't think Elora would hesitate. I think she would instantly...
That's great, roll initiative.
Bugger. Right, roll initiative.
Otto
That's a
has-
natural 20 plus an 8 for Elora.
Nice.
And a 9 plus a 4 for a 13 for Ogvar.
13 for Ogvar.
I did actually deliberately roll Elora's first there, but what I'll do from here on in, I'll make sure I roll Ogvar's first so that it's the same every time.
Oh, it doesn't matter either way, as long as you declare who it is first.
Yeah, Elora would have been the first one. That was my intention, so...
Okay, and Rick?
Otto got a 14 plus 1 for 15.
15, sweet, okay. So, let me roll some initiative. Oh, that was shocking. Not bad though. Okay, so let me just... Let's check that. Okay, sweet. So top of the round, Elora.
Okay, Elora is not going to hesitate. She is going to cast a lightning bolt on this bitch.
Wow, so rude. You don't even know her.
Do what?
Don't
You
want
don't
to.
even know. She could be really nice. She could run an orphanage.
What, with the symbol of Skursdag? I
She
mean,
could
even
be
Elora
the head of an orphanage with 16 young orphans who she's raising to be well-meaning, upstanding members of the community, for all you know.
I suppose in the
Sonus
same
Fluxus.
argument, she's just an old woman who just found a robe. Yeah. Older.
That'll run through Elora's mind, and then she'll just go, Sonus Fluctus, and she is going to fling out her hand.
Okay, is that an auto hit?
That
Reset
is an
save?
auto hit.
Wow, so rude.
And that would be... There's a fortitude saving throw for half of 17, DC 17.
DC 17. Well, she gets a 17.
Oh, fucking hell. Right, okay. I really hate you. God, she's a
Don't
pain
hate
in
me,
arse
hate the
tonight.
game.
Right, so it's 10d8, that little lot.
Okie dokie.
Can I
So,
just
here it comes.
bring him a small point? That was a lightning bolt. That would be a reflex save. Does that improve anything?
Oh, and I've got it down as fortitude. Is that wrong?
No, you said reflex. I rolled reflex. It's
Okay, she said
Oh, sorry.
fortitude,
Look,
but
well, you
it
got-
is reflex. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, even if it wasn't even if it was fortitude, it would have then been a 19. So it's
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It's alright, I copied the spell descriptor, so it says fortitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, I don't know why it says fortitude. She said, oh no, it says fort save. Right, so, hang on, let's take one away. Right, so 10d8, so that is 5, 6, that's 11, 18, 20, 29,
Keep going.
30, 40, 45, 55, 60 points of damage.
Is that halved?
At half, yeah, so it'd be
Halved.
30 points of
30
damage.
damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you cast your lightning bolt and it hits. She squeals in agony as you clearly see the lightning coursing through her body as she is electrocuted. And what is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I mean, is she fried? Is she still up?
She's still up, yeah.
God damn.
She's still up. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think... yeah, I think the only other thing Elora would do is she would... Again, bear with me, I need to check something. Yeah, she's going to take out the wand of whole person
Okay.
that she got back from Drunau Lighthouse, I think it was. Was it from Drunau Lighthouse?
I have no clue. Probably.
I think it was back from the lighthouse. She's going to take out the wand of whole person and she's just going to keep that in one of her hands.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, and is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so next up is the lady you've just electrocuted.
Great.
Classic. So you are on the top of the tower, are you not?
Correct, Amondo.
As you watch in front of you, the woman disappears
Oh, fuck.
as she moves back around the rock, this jut of rock, and disappears from your line of sight. And what? Who's up next? We have Otto up next.
Was she moving quite quickly, or was she just sort of, just quite deliberately moving back instead, maybe?
So she's clearly kind of like darted back behind the rock. She's clearly darting back out of your line of sight.
That's okay. Can I ready an action to?
Yes, you may.
If she comes back around the corner, back into sight, to throw one of the beads at her, please.
You may.
Tidy.
Okay, that's your ready to action.
Yep, done.
And then we've got Ogvar.
I'll just amend that very
Okay.
slightly. Sorry, I apologise. I'll ready an action if any of apparent foe comes around the corner, not just her. Let's be more specific.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Sweet. And Ogvar? Ogvar?
Oh, sorry, Ogvar. Well, he can't see her. I think Ogvar would also, his readied action. He would have a readied action because he knows that she's there somewhere. As soon as she or the next person shows themselves, he would loose a double attack. He'd loose 2 arrows,
Okay.
like a full round action.
Okay.
He only gets
sweet.
to do one on a ready action normally.
Oh, okay, 1 then. He would loose 1 then.
Yes, sorry,
But
yes.
humans are his favoured enemy as well, so
Yeah, sure. Okay. And that is the end of his turn. And then we are back to top of the round. Elora, what are you doing?
well, she's just got this wonderful person.
And you're all on the top floor, yeah, on the top of the.
Yeah, she's on the top with Ogvar. They're
Okay.
on, just sort of ducking between the castellations of partial cover. I don't think there's anything else Elora can do at this point. I think she's got.
You're just watching and waiting. You're taking.
Yeah,
a
I mean, I think her readied action would be. I think everybody just would ready an action. You just would, and I think hers would be the next available person that comes into
Yep.
sight. She's going to loose.
Okay.
Loose the whole person, have a go at it. Loose
Sweet.
a casting of whole person.
Okay.
On the wand.
Yeah, you see maybe some movement at the edge of the rock, the outcrop of the rock, as you see this woman dipping, kind of poking her head around every now and then, kind of hiding away, but she's not emerging into the open. She's clearly just looking. So I don't believe that would trigger your action, Rick.
If she's coming into view, then he probably would throw it in that direction. But if it's not
Okay, yeah.
clear enough target, then maybe not.
Well, yeah, I think she's not actually moving from her square. She's just kind of dipping her head around, like peeking around.
That's fine. Then
so-
I'll say I won't trigger it, and I'll just if I don't get to do anything this turn, it's not the end of the world.
Okay, cool. Next up, Otto then.
Well, if she is just poking her head around, and we know where she is, then I'll throw it about 5 feet around the corner from where she is.
Right, okay.
She's
and
going to stand there.
You're inside the tower, yes. You've got to try and throw it through the arrow slit.
I'm going to
Or
just
is
be.
it spell, is it?
Oh, I'm just going to be pedantic here because those arrow slits
They are small, that's what I'm thinking
were
about.
tiny because
Yes.
you couldn't get an arm through.
Yes, I know, that's what
It
I'm
is treated as per the fireball spell.
thinking. What side was that?
Sorry, the necklace fireball is treated as per the fireball spell.
Okay, so you're effectively just casting fireball into which area?
Yeah, but which level was it? Because that
I was on the
fireball
lowest.
necklace was the
It was the
lowest
lowest
one.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where
I should
were
check
you?
that. Hang on.
Where were you throwing that, Rick?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Where were you throwing it?
Okay, so essentially wherever she was poking her head out, about 5 feet
Yeah.
behind that point.
Okay, it's about here.
Yeah. And that is Sorry, that's going to be a level 9 bead.
Level 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You're
so
throwing the top one.
No, the one under.
I think
There's a
it's
level 10 on there
How
as well.
many-
But... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially it's a 9
Yeah.
hit die fireball rather than a 10 hit die fireball. So
okay, yeah.
It's a top. Yeah, I can't remember. It does actually say. Have you got the descriptor of which fireballs are on there?
yeah, so there's 1/10, 2/9, and sorry, one
that's
10
it.
hit die, 1 2 9, so on. But yeah, I'll be throwing a
Okay.
9 hit die fireball and bead out there.
Okay, sweet. So what
Okay.
effect does that have?
Okay, so this is.
Warm.
Well, yes,
yeah.
I got it. It's warm.
It's likely to be a bit warm for them now, isn't it? It's terrible. Huh?
Toasty.
I just accidentally closed it. 1 second. There it is. Come back. Right. So yeah, it's a 96 fireball that is going to go
Okay.
boom from that spot as long as it's within 70 feet. I can get it straight there.
Okay.
And
the
they,
radius of that boom is.
that is a standard fireball, so
Goodness gracious.
a
great
20-foot
balls of
radius?
fire.
20-foot radius.
yeah.
Oh my life.
Big badder
Nice. Ooh, did that funnel it up the tunnel?
boom. Let's not
Well,
discuss first edition fireball mechanics.
Yeah.
You
Okay, that's a
used to
You
have
need
to
a nice
calculate
gust
this.
of wind after it. Cast
Yeah,
gust
you-
of wind after it.
Okay, that's a fucking big fireball. Okay, so roll. Do I need to make any reflex saves? Or is
Yeah,
it just
it's
straight
only a DC 14 reflex
damage?
save.
DC 14 reflex, and that's for half, yeah?
Yeah.
13, so she fails.
Oh, awesome.
He's rubbing his hands. He's either rubbing hands together or rolling his dice. I can't tell.
I think it's
That's
both.
exactly
It
what
looks
I
like
do.
he's making a cocktail.
The question is she the only one you're making a save for? Because that'd be the other fun thing.
She the only one there.
You don't know. You can't see shit.
I was wondering if
okay.
there's any other saving throws. Okay, I'm going to roll 9d6 then.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hello. 10, 20, 29. Then another 3. Oh, 30, 33.
That's still nice though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. As you cast this spell, you throw out this bead and it flies true. It almost kind of hits the back wall and drops into the square, and then boom into a massive fireball. You see the fire roil outwards back down the tunnel towards you, kind of billowing out in kind of big clouds of flame.
Very cinematic.
As you hear screaming. And as the fire kind of recedes and retracts back down, you can see the flailing figure set alight of this woman as she kind of just runs around and stumbles and then eventually falls to her knees and then falls silent as she collapses onto the floor in a sea of fire. So how long does that fire effect last in the area? Is it just gone?
Just
or
a
is it
fireball, instant.
instant gone? Yeah. So as the flames die away, you see her charred and smoking corpse lying on the floor. As she's toast. If you pardon the pun. Okay.
I'll just duck
so
behind
Ogg,
I'll just duck behind the wall so that I'm not in view anymore and try and think of
Well, I
something
know-
clever to say, but I think he's just stunned about the effectiveness of it.
I think Elora would turn to Ogvar and say, "Well, I'm guessing her name's Ashley."
Oh fuck yeah. Okay.
Ba-boom. Shh.
No.
Sorry.
Okay. So what is Ogvar doing?
Apart from grimacing, you mean?
Yes, apart from grimacing. What is he doing? Hello.
I think he may have packed up his stuff and gone. May have left the building. So, Ogvar.
Yes. What is
Right.
Ogvar doing?
Well, she's now dead. I think he would be looking at this.
Oh, that looked a bit toasty. I've got nothing left to shoot at.
Apparently he's turned into Selma from The Simpsons.
Look, I'm doing my best.
Hey, it was good.
thank you. I don't know, Elora, can you see anybody else?
Okay, is that the end of his turn?
Yeah, I mean, if there's nobody to shoot at,
Okay.
Ready, actually, go.
Perfect.
yeah, he's still got that held action, so...
Elora, a 27 to hit you.
What?
27 to hit.
Yes?
As you make this joke, as you and Ogvar kind of have a chat and be like, oh, well, you know, she's gone. Like, oh, well, what's it? Nothing's happening. You hear the faintest clinking sound as a flail appears from nowhere, swinging down and smashing into your body, dealing... Let me see, what's the damage on that one? D8 plus 3. Seems kind of puny now. But you are flat-footed as well.
Yeah, probably.
You are flat-footed. And...
Yes, because I'm not expecting that, obviously.
yeah, so you're flat-footed. That's cool. And... as you take 8 points of damage, which seems puny now that I look at it. You take 8 points of damage as a flail appears from nowhere, slamming down across your body, as what is slowly revealed by the undoing of an invisibility spell is a tall, well-built male figure, who is kind of half perched, half vaulting over the edge of the tower as he's climbed up the sides and struck down upon you. Him too decked out in leather armour and the symbol of Skursdag branded into the chest plate. And that's where we'll leave it.
Okay. He was behind me, yeah? Climbed
No.
up the side. Or we climbed up in the front of the tower?
Yeah, he was invisible.
Don't suppose that
Okay,
fireball
invisible.
caught him on the way in, did it?
No, he was already out of the way by that point.
Yeah, I thought it must have been base of the towers to climb up that fast.
Invisibility plus spider climb. Nice combo.
Oh, okay. The party had realised the need for a safe space, and rest was required. Retreating a little, the perfect plot to pop up their instant fortress was found. Elora took to the top to defend from on high, and Ogvar from below, leaving Otto to scout on ahead. He was not tricked by the terrible trap en route, nor did he miss the muffled voices from behind a door further on, before scuttling back to safety to reveal his findings to his friends. The attack on their tower was inevitable, and it was a recruit to the cursed cause of Skursdag that soon showed up. A fireball was flung and finished off the foe, but once again it was Elora that had endured a serious winding from a pop-up assailant just when she least expected it. As always, thanks for being with us, folks. Our listeners are so important, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Please do join us again next week for episode 178.